Hi, Peter. Okay, it is evaluation day, and I have your late 6139 6005 here. It's one of these nice pieces. It's nice to see. It's definitely one of the later ones, which is neither here nor there. It just is. The overall cosmetic condition is good. The watch is entirely original. Hang on just one second. Okay, so let's talk about the numbers. The watch is barely running. But that's not, I don't know, the watch seriously needs service. But the signal is pretty clean. It's got the typical sort of beat error that these have when they require servicing. It's losing it a ton of time, but that's in large part because the amplitude is so low. That's okay, it's running. I mean, it's running. That's the important part. We're able to get usable numbers out of it, and that's all good stuff. It's definitely one of the things that's nice is it's one of these late ones with the straight text. You can see the caseback condition, which is one of the first things I look at, is nice and it's relatively clean. Sure, it's got all these little tiny marks on it, but the overall metal is good. And I don't think this watch actually had a lot of wrist time. There's your old seal. It came to pieces. Old piece of junk. The movement itself is clean. I mean, not really oxidized. Bright metal. A little bit of hazing on here. It's original. You can see there's the original grease, the original Seiko grease here around the pillar wheel there. No water ever got in. The watch is clearly original. Sealing surfaces are great. It's an original watch. I mean, there's not really much else to say. I already looked at your lower mainspring arm report. It looks pretty tight to me, but I'd know more when I got in there. Oh, your numbers might not be good because you're pushing over the date. But since we're here, let's look at that. I mean, it's got all the things that we really want to look for. One of the things about it being late is it has, through the run of production of these things from the early 1970s, or really the late 1960s, all the way up to the end, which was 78 or 79, the color of this dial would change. They had all kinds of different variants, but late, they tended to have this sort of deeper amber gold look to it, rather than having a dial color that matched the rotating ring perfectly. So this is pretty typical for a late. You can see the lume is almost perfect. There's a little patina right there, but man, what are you gonna do? No, it's a good watch. Okay, let's see what the numbers say now that it's not pushing over the date. For fun, let's see what it says. If we get any better numbers out of it. No. Okay. Nope. Same. Different, but the same. I'm not overly worried about it. The movement's clean. The cosmetics are great. It's got all the things that you can't really replace. Flake underneath the crystal. That's interesting. It's got all the things that you can't replace. It's going to be good. It's on its nice original taper. You see the taper bracelet too is in good shape. Look, it's got a lot of its original brushing. This watch didn't have a lot of miles on it. After it gets cleaned up, it'll be great. I mean, one of the ways to tell how original a watch is you look at the clasp and you see how bright and shiny this surface is, how sharp the edges are in the Seiko, and then you look at the condition of the frosting. The frosted surface here. And so when I see something like this, I'm like, this one didn't have a lot of wear. Somebody wore it for a while, but not that long. So it had a relatively short working life. And when we're done, it'll be a great watch. A great watch. Yeah, it's fine. Everything works. Should be great. That's really about it. You let me know, but I don't think there's any real questions about what we've got to do. Okay, thank you so much, Peter.